Okay. Hey everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another stream. Um, Welcome back to another video. So, what are we doing? Well, as you can see, we're continuing on the build of the BMPT Terminator tank by Meng. 1/35th scale Russian tank. This would be part 6. We're continuing with our build here. We still have some stuff to do on the upper hull. Last time we spent a whole lot of time building this little box type thing, whatever you want to call that, and putting this little railing along there. That took a long time just to do those little parts, because I'm not all the best at building that kind of delicate stuff, but that's the way it is. Oh, and we did our 2 side rails that are going to go along eventually. Is this the right side? I think it goes on this side. This is going to go along here. Doink, dink and doink, something like that. So yeah, got 2 of those done, but we are continuing on. So I'm going to skip the assembly of the little ropes that go on the back here, and just push forward on other things, such as moving on to what they're calling the Grenade Launcher Operator's Armored Compartment Assembly. That's a big name for the 2 pods that go in these 2 holes here. So we're going to work on those today. We'll see how long it takes to get these done. Alright? Now, it's very hot in my room today, so I have the air conditioner on. If you can hear that going in the background, I apologize for that. That's just the way it is. My music that I play in the background, YouTube has decided just about every video in the last week, if I copyright infringements, and I have to clip those parts out and lower the volume down to almost nothing. And I'm sure you guys have been noticing that, so I apologize for that. It's just the way it is. There's certain, you know, the non-copyrighted music that YouTube has that you it just doesn't cut it, you know. And so I find like karaoke versions, or maybe somebody does a cover of a song but they do it on piano or something, as you might be hearing now, I don't know. And I like those versions because there's no lyrics and everything, but still YouTube seems to kind of catch it, you know, like, hey, bad. Anyway, so what are we doing? We gotta get my parts ready here. Not really set up yet. I started my stream before I got 100% ready to go here. Okay, so what do we need here? We need M tree and we need N. N is clear, so we need some clear pieces, but we need the M tree basically for this part here to get these assembled. And it looks like we're going to need some photo etch along with some parts off the B tree. And T7T, I don't think I've encountered the T. T is the rubber, isn't it? I think the T is the rubber piece. Yes, T is the rubber. So T7, we actually put rubber parts on here. That's going to be interesting. I guess that's going to be this weird, funky looking rubber gasket looking thing. Anyway, so M, we need M. We have 2 M trees, and then we're going to need B, and there's the B. Okay, so before we really get into this, I got to change my glasses off so I don't have any trouble looking at the numbers on the trees. Did you know that trees have numbers on them? I did, because I wear my good glasses. Okay, what are we looking at? We need 28 and 35 and 36. There's 35 and 36 right here. There's 35 and 36, which is right beside it here. Be a little bit careful taking this one off. we go. 36. Okay, we also need M28. 24, 28. There we go. This little rectangular piece right there. Okay. We're also going to need M30 after we've assembled this, it looks like. What's funny is they don't have a number pointing to that, but I think that is strange. Why don't they have a number pointing to that? That looks like it's going to be 33, but there's no number. But it's not. 32 and 33. Oh, see, they skip ahead. Look what they're doing here. Okay, they want you to build this, then go to this, but they want you to go back from this to this. So you're literally doing this with your assembly. Now, that's not confusing at all. Yeah. Anyway, and the other thing is we have two of them. So we're actually building two. So why? Why not? I don't know. Let's just do one for now. We'll do one for now. So we'll trim this little piece off here. Clean up our parts. Make sure everything's going to fit when we want it to fit. Again, guys, if you can hear the air conditioner going on in the background, I apologize. I tried to get one that was quiet and you wouldn't be able to hear it, but it's just the way it is. So, sorry. Okay, so these two, they go together. They want these things facing down. And with them facing down, it doesn't matter how it goes together. I would have thought that there'd be some kind of a guideline or something, some kind of a little notch to say, hey, put it together in this orientation or something. Something like that, but it looks like they don't care. They just don't care. Other than, see, I'm guessing they've got these little tabs here, and this is going to click because as we get down here, they're saying don't glue them. So I guess it's going to click into, and then you're going to be able to rotate them, which is kind of a neat little feature. But at the same time, we've got no way of knowing whether or not. Another ejector pin right there. What is it with this kit and their ejector tabs? Like all over this kit. All over. That is just, that blows me away. It blows my mind. Okay, so let's glue our little piece on. But actually, before we get to that, we've got to put our clear part in there. And one. Number one. So we actually have 3 number ones. But for now, we're just going to use 1 number 1. Okay. And with this facing this way, actually it says opposite here. So we need, it says make 2. So we are making 2. Thank you very much for noticing that. So we are doing this twice. But we'll do one at a time. So it's always a little bit easier when you finally, you know what you're getting into for the second one. Okay, and we have to put N3 inside that little square. So N number 3. Oh, we get 6 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 number ones. I'm going to do this real quick. Should have done this before. Pro tip, mark this off. This is N. 1, 1. Makes it much easier to read the numbers. Okay, there we go. Makes life much easier. Now that I've done that, I need number 3, and now I can easily see that's number 3. And you can do that with the other sprues too. If you've got dark colored sprues, you can use like, I don't know, if you want to take the time, you can use a silvery paint or a white paint and mark the numbers on them, so it's easier to see when you're actually assembling the thing. As if you're old like me and you have trouble seeing them. If you're young and you've got great vision, you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. But when you get older, you will. Okay, so this definitely has like a front side to it with some rivet details, so we want to put the glass in behind it, which means it's going to go just like that. And what I'm going to do is, let's put it down for now. I'm going to grab my thin glue, and because I don't want to risk getting any on my fingers, I'm going to do it with the tweezers. Because you have it on your fingers, and then next thing you know, you've got fingerprints of glue on the clear plastic, and that always sucks. So we'll go back to number 1 here, and we'll see if there is an up and a down. It doesn't look quite like there is, except it's got angled edges to it. And it does have this little bar that's going across the middle of it. So I don't know, they're not showing me any kind of a detail as to which way it's supposed to go. So I'm going to try and put it in with the bar facing back and the angled, but it's actually quite a long piece. I don't know why it's like that. But that does fit in nice. The bar acts as a stop for it, so that works. I will therefore glue it in like that. Yeah, this glue is now at a point where it's not touching the brush enough to be any use to me, so this glue is done. I could wait till this one's maybe half empty and then pour the rest in that, but it's actually got lots of murkiness to it, so I'm just gonna let it go. Let it go, let it go. There we go. Okay, that first clear piece is in, and we've got to put another one in on the other side here. So where did I throw my clear pieces? Right here. I need another number 1. Make sure not to throw that too far away, because I'm going to be needing that again. And so, in similar fashion to the other one, put this in on this side. It doesn't work as nicely. Look up. Can I go backwards? How come the other side fits so perfect? This one doesn't. Ah, there we go. I had it upside down. So that would explain why. Okay. So those are in. Now we can put our little piece on the top here. It's got a little tiny little hole here for this one little spot. It's a tiny little notch sticking out for that to go in at the bottom. So we'll see how this fits. It's a little tight, it's not really wanting to fit in its spot. Ah, there we go. It's a really tight fit. It's a tight fit, but it does go. Sort of. It doesn't feel like it's going into that hole, but it seems to be okay. So I'll put a little dab of glue in there. On the bottom there. There we go. And that should stay permanent. Okay. Alright, so that's done. Now let's put our two halves together. For that I'm going to use thicker glue. And a little bead around here. Go. Okay, so our two halves are together. All right, so let's make another one of these. Okay, since we're on a roll, let's make the other one. Taking the same pieces off of the other end tree. Some little square. Two number ones. One, two, and we do the other number three. Okay. And now we'll clean them up. Cleaning them up, cleaning them up, do-da, cleaning them up. Take the mop, some is a little bigger than normal. Okay. another ejector pin in this one. So very quietly. I've done that. Not sure. Not sure. This guy here, this is right where his little peg is. That's supposed to go in that slot. And this side. Okay. Alright, so first things first, we'll glue our little piece of clear glass into this one. Hold on to it with our tweezers, like that. So that's that one. Figure out how our glass goes in on each one of these. Since we know from the first one, it does only go in one way. See, that one don't fit, so let's turn it around. Like this. Don't want to go. Don't want to go. Oh, I gotta clean this up a little bit. That's why it's not going. It's a tight fit, so you gotta make sure that these are cleaned up after taking them off the tree. Okay. So now let's see how it fits. Like a glove. This one. Wrong way. And perfect. Just like so. Alright. Now we'll take this piece and we'll put it down on the front here. We've cleaned it up. We did not clean it up properly. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now it should fit fine. And it does. It's still tight. That's fine. So it's pushed in all the way and pushed down all the way. That looks good. Yes. Looks very good. Glue it there. And a little bit on the front. Just to make sure it stays where it belongs. There we go. So that one's done too. Now we're going to glue our ring on. So we need this glue again. And make sure that's facing down. This one is not as nice of a fit as the other side. Well, it fits, it's tight. There is a tiny little bit of a notch, like a guide, to make sure you have it centered. So there you go, there's that. So those two are made. Now we're going to move on, skipping this, we're going to build this. Okay? So we need, back to our M tree, 12, 16, 17, 32, and 33. It's a lot of pieces. Well, here's 32 and 33 right off the bat. Okay. "12, 16, and 17. So here's 12. Wow. Tiny little guy. 16 and 17. It's going to be here. Two more tiny little guys. 16 and 17. And again, we're making two, so I'm just going to take the parts off of this one while we're at it. Okay? Just so I don't have to do it again. We're all the same parts, so we don't have to worry about which is which. At least in theory, right? Okay. Alrighty, let's clean these up. So that one, let's clean this one up too. I have to admit, this is probably, like, I've only built a few tanks in my career, or, you know, some people call them armor models. I've only built a few. This is definitely the most detailed one that I've built. Now, I don't know if, okay, I guess, honestly, the other three that I've built, they were all Tamiya kits. And from what I've seen and heard, Tamiya doesn't make the most detailed armor kits. And so that could be why. I just haven't encountered a real quality detailed armor kit before until now. This one is going to be a little bit difficult to clean up, so I want to press down and cut that off. Like that. Sometimes with these tiny little parts, just got to be a little more careful. So, as I was saying, my experience with armor models is not very extensive at all. It's very limited. So maybe, you know, it's just because I've only experienced Tamiya kits. That could be why this one seems to be a much more daunting kit. No, actually, no, it's supposed to be like that. Cut that little nub off of there. There we go. So those two are clean. this one, I think I got pretty clean coming off of the tree. Yep. Check this one. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Alright, so what do we do here? We're going to take these two halves and we're going to put them together. Like this. Okay. Let's take them apart again. Put a dab of glue in there. Glue that sucker in there. Okay. Do it twice. Okay. So now with these like that, we're going to take this piece and it's going to go here. We're going to take our little handle and it's going to go here, and then this piece goes here. Okay, so the easiest pieces are going to be this one and this one. This one is simply going here. This one not facing that direction. Like that. Okay. And now our handle. It does have a little bit of a curve to it. We want it facing kind of inside. So the way I have it on the tweezers now is just about perfect. So if I can get it to line up, just leave it there. I think I'm doing good. Technically it should be lifted off of the surface like that, just a little tiny bit. If I can convince it to stay there, it'll also stay in its hole. I'll be happy. Everyone will be happy. Now I want to use a little bit of thin set just to make sure, because I find the thicker glue, it's great until you move it around a little bit, like I just did. Okay, we're good. Alright, so let's move on to this piece. I'm going to do the same thing again. Okay, so dink and doink. Grab this piece here. We can put that on first, that's fine. Like this. Go in the hole. handle. That will work. A little too much glue. But that's okay. As long as it stays where I want it, I'm okay with a little too much glue. Except when it does that. Then I'm not so okay with it. There we go. Got it in the right spot anyway. Just a little dab here and there to make sure it's all good. And we've got our little covers made. And now with those covers made, we need to grab M30. M30. And that's this guy here. I have a feeling this is going to be a long build series. I mean, we're already up to part 5, and I haven't even got the turret built. Just because there's so much small detail pieces to assemble on this. I have to admit, I wasn't prepared for such a detailed build. I thought, hey, it's just going to be nice and quick. This thing is the way it is. This particular model has a lot of detail. Okay, so we're going to grab one of our first pieces here. I'm going to grab one of our hatches. And it's going to go up the top here, like this. I'm not quite happy with how flush it's fitting. And that's going to be because of this little thing sticking down. It looks like that's actually supposed to be there. Is it? No, I don't think so. It's just part of the where it came off the tree. So let's shave that flush, trim that nice. Okay. And that's a little better of a fit. Okay. So that sits like this, and then this is going to go over top. How is this going to go? It looks like it looks like we're actually going to have this little tab here in the middle go into that little slot right there. Which means we have to hook it over the bar first. Making sure our bar is nice and smooth. This will have to go like this over it. And then go into that tab. Hole. But that doesn't really make sense unless this goes like that. Maybe I have it backwards. I'm going to test fit it like this. That slot there. I believe that's how it's supposed to go. Yes. Except, as with other parts of this kit, this hole is not machined big enough for the tab to fit, which then gives me the option I either break off the tab or I make the hole bigger. And I would rather make the hole bigger. See, now that fits, right? That's nice. And then I can put some glue there underneath to make sure it fits without worrying about getting any glue on that. So that's what we're going to do. We got this like this, and now we're going to put it in. This is a tricky little situation. Oh, I had it in and I pulled it out. Are we in? We're in. Doesn't quite line up. Oh, there we go. We're in and we're lined up. Okay. It looks like there's going to be a piece that goes over top here. Yes, there is, but we have to assemble it first. So the first thing I want to do is put some glue in at the bottom here. So I'm going to use this stuff because I don't want the thin glue to accidentally run down anywhere that I don't want it. Even though in a lot of times the thinner glue is a better way to go. Okay, that one's done. Now we'll do the same with this. Now first things first, we already know this hole needs to be just made a little bit cleaner for it to get in there. So we'll make sure, test fit, of course, is very important. It really sucks when, so there we go, got it in there, perfect. It really sucks when you put glue on it and then you find out it doesn't fit properly. That is really a recipe for a bad time. I want to kind of have it up so that I get access to that slot easier. I think I'm in. I'm in. Yeah. I'm in and we're closed and it fits good. Glue. Let's get glue on the spot I want. There we go. in theory, this hatch should open. It's getting caught on something. What's it getting caught on? I don't know. There we go. It does open, although it's not the best hinge. It does open. I think I'm probably going to be leaving them closed anyway, but there we go. So that's those. Now let's see, how long did that take us? How long did it take to build those? 46 minutes. 46 minutes to build these two little things, and we're not even done. That was just this little section right up here to build two of those. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do one. Okay, I'm going to do one, and then I'm going to call it quits. So I'm just going to do this one right here, because this one here is literally just a mirror of this one. Okay, so I'm just going to I'm going to continue, but I'm just going to do one, and I'll do the other one later on off stream, on my own time, kind of thing, because I haven't got a whole lot of time here. So we need T7 and T6. Now that, of course, was the rubber tree. T7, we have two of them. And they are these little gasket things. 7. And we need 6. We don't need 6 quite right now, but we do need it, so. There's 6. I'm just going to put it there. Now, of course, they are labeling these F and G so that we know which side to put them on here, F and G, when we're finally all finished, right? So we need this guy, okay? We need B. This is where we're getting into the B tree. We're no longer using the M, okay? So we can put the M's away and grab our B. We need B9 and B6. Okay, so B6 and 9. There's 6. Okay. There's 6, and we need 9. There's 8, and we need 9. There's 9. 9 is over here. Okay. We've got the Game of Thrones theme song playing in the background right now. I wonder if YouTube's going to stop this one. It'll be interesting, because it's not even, it's actually, the version I have is actually from Two Cellos. If you guys have ever heard of them. These guys are pretty, you know, for guys that play the cello, they're pretty hardcore couple of guys. Yeah, they're pretty cool. But yeah, they got this version of Game of Thrones song, and I liked it, so here we go. Okay, so we're going to take this guy. We're working on this side, and they want T7 to go along here. Okay, it's kind of hard to deal with because it's not exactly flat. You have some detail on it though, that's kind of interesting. But I guess I need to clean up that little burr on it, if I can. Totally destroying it. Okay, this is the side that has the details. So I guess it's going to go line up there and just go around on here like that. I've never glued the rubber parts before, so I don't know if I need CA glue or if the regular glue will hold it, especially with it all wonky like this. Like, what the heck? I'm not sure. I hate working with CA glue. I really do. And why do I need to put a rubber part on here? Why? Tell me why. Why? It doesn't even line up proper. Unless it's supposed to go along this outer edge, which just makes life even more difficult. Okay, let's worry about that later. Photo etch, X5. So I would rather just take my time and figure that out very slowly, and I don't want to bore you guys with me just thinking. I need X5, number 5. This is 6 and 5. Okay, we got it upside down. So number 5 is this lower one. Okay, here's number 5. Okay. Now, here's my sanding stick, because I want to make sure the little burrs are gone. Still see them. You have to do this very lightly, because if you put any kind of pressure, you risk bending the photo etched part, and you don't want to do that. So there we go, nice and smooth. Okay. Now we need B6. Did I already got that? I got that already. That's going to go on here. First we're going to clean up this stupid pin mark. So this is going to be, how are we facing this? Like this. And then this goes in this direction, but we're going to be putting it on here. There's a couple little pegs for it to actually sit on. So that's good. But we are going to need our CA glue for this. And a toothpick. Just a couple of little pegs. Doink, doink, and doink. Always take care to not get any on your fingers. That always sucks. Go backwards. Okay, now just doing that to make sure I didn't get any on my hand. So we have that. Now this has to go down onto this. And how they have it, they show it, they don't want it glued. Oh, because it's going to become a hatch. These now go down through these little slots. line them up. They don't want to go into their holes. But one. Then the other two won't go. Come on, guys. Get in there. Glue seems to be dry, so let's try and use a little bit more force than the tweezers are allowed. One, two, the middle one. Come on. This is where my patience runs thin. And this kind of stuff. There, fine. Got it. Okay. So with that like that, what are they saying? Ah, they want you to fold it over onto itself. So hold it like this, I should be able to fold it over. Like so. I'm not that experienced with photo etched, and so I already know I'm not going to do the greatest job at this. But I'll do as good as I can. What makes it hard is all these little rods already on here. Because I can't grab it. You know what I mean? Which actually might be something to... Where do I have them? I have these tweezers. Try these. These grip automatically. Like this. Gives me something to hold on to add a little bit more brute force. Not that I really want to use a lot of brute force, but to get this to sit where it's supposed to. Actually wrap those around. To be like that. An actual hinge is a bit tricky. I think I got it. Now I am supposed to glue those down. Now the holes in here are supposed to line up with the pegs that I already originally glued it to. Right? Now that one is. This one is nowhere near where it needs to be. So maybe I have it pulled too tight here. Fortunately, with it being a little forgiving, I can undo it a little bit. Back. There we go, I got that one. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on there now that I've got it lined up right. and try to get that glued down. In its spot where it belongs. Okay, I got that one. Do the other side. And this is why I said I'm going to do this only one time to show you guys. And I'll do the other one on my own. Just because this is... I suck with photo etch stuff. You guys have seen me build seat belts before. I'm not a photo etch guy at all. Do I appreciate the level of detail that photo etching does? Yes, I do. I do appreciate it. But I just find it so hard to work with photo etch parts that it's not very rewarding for me. Okay, so we have our hatch, whatever the heck you want to call this. This one's done, okay? That one's done, so that takes us to this, okay? But now we have this other piece, B8 and T6. B8. B8 is this piece. Get rid of that jump over there right away. B8, okay. So we have B8, and when they want T6, that's this other little rubber part. This other one here. And they want me to put that on here. It doesn't even match it. It doesn't even look properly at all. It doesn't look proper to just have it sitting this random black rubber piece on there. It doesn't look right. So I'll put it on after, if I want to. What we do is we take one of these, and this piece, we have a little tab here that's going to go into that little slot and act as a little cover. And it fits just like that. Okay? Just like that. Let's just clean it up and make sure it's going to fit proper. These pieces are really thin and kind of delicate, so you have to be careful with them. That's very, very, very thin. So, there's only a couple of spots for glue on this. Got one here where this goes underneath, and kind of on the sides of these little pegs. And then it sits on top here. That's it. Clean that up. Okay, so we have that. And then we have our other piece that we just spent a whole bunch of time on. And all these little poles are all going to supposedly line up on there. So let's see. And they do. Okay, so let's put glue on all our little poles, all our little pegs, or feet, our legs, whatever you want to call these things. A little dab of glue on each one. As I said, a little dab of glue on each one. Line them all up here. Again. All right. And that is assembled. And so in theory, when you open the hatch, this will open up on its own and allow this little thing to flap open. But right now, with the glue being just freshly done, I don't want to play with it. So I'm going to just close up my super glue here, because I don't want to accidentally dump it over. Even though it is thick, it can still spill out, which I have done once before. And so with the rubber thing, yeah, it's supposed to go up on top here around the perimeter of this thing like this. I think I'm going to leave it off. I think I'm just going to leave it. So I'll show you guys, if I can, give you a bit of an up close look at our finished result here. Bring this in, maybe it'll focus on it. Come on, focus for me, please. You don't want to focus? Come on, focus for me. Please. So we have our little guy here. Please focus for me. Frickin' camera. I hate my camera. I really do. It'll focus on the frickin' cardboard, but it won't focus on the actual part. There. That's what we're looking at. So all our little rods on the back. And that's what took an hour. That took me an hour just to build that. Yay. So, am I enjoying the build of the Terminator? It's okay. I think I'm going to enjoy the finished result, but the process in getting there, I'm not having so much fun. Because it's just a lot of this super delicate work that I don't usually do. And so that's why. It's, I guess you could say I'm challenging myself. Right? And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with challenging yourself as long as you don't challenge yourself too far beyond your abilities. But another thing is, it's another reason why I'm doing this, is to show you guys that you don't have to be a professional and you can still do it. And you can do it with, well, half decent results, right? And it's still going to look good sitting on your shelf. And that's kind of the main thing, right? That's what I'm doing it for. So, I'm going to leave it there for today. I might continue on my own and just kind of take my time and do the second one. But like I said, I think I'm just going to leave the rubber off of that because it's so malformed and everything. If it was flat and I could deal with it, that would be much more desirable. But yeah, I think I'm just going to leave that and not bother with the rubber on there. And when it's sitting on the shelf, you're not going to know anyway, right? So yeah, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Leave that for today, and we'll continue on next time. Looks like we're putting on another fence or grill of some sort on the back, attaching the grenade launcher, armored compartments. Yeah, those are going on with a couple of panels there, a couple of things on the back, and then I don't know what's next. Let's take a look. Flip the page over. Move these here, move these here. Flip the page over. Actually doing some stuff on the actual turret finally. Yeah, so that'll be next time. All right. So I'm gonna leave it there for now. And if you guys have made it this far in the video, why not hit the like button in the middle there, and maybe even hit the subscribe down over here on this side, right down there. And head on over to my Twitch. I'll put links in the description box below. Head on over to my Twitch, and you can follow me on Twitch, and you can watch me live. And then you'd have the option of actually talking to me while I'm doing my stuff. Tell me I'm doing it wrong. Tell me I'm fat and ugly. Tell me I'm beautiful. I don't know. Tell me I'm pretty. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that for now, guys. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Thanks for coming out. All the positive comments I'm getting on my videos, it's so awesome. And I love it so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all your support. And we'll see you all in the next one.